Hello, I'm Madeline from Sheen Slings, and this is my review of the MomCozy wrap carrier. And this review is really going to be a bit of a tale of the good and the bad. And by that, what I mean is, on the one hand, we've got the carrier, which, if you're a relatively experienced baby wearer and understand how to use it, this is quite a good carrier and quite nice, and can be easily achieve quite a nice, safe, lovely carry, which is lovely for a newborn. But on the other hand, the manual is genuinely awful. Genuinely, probably the worst manual I've ever read. And so if you are not an experienced baby wearer who already will dive into this without looking at this, you may well struggle. If you're a brand new parent picking this up and attempting to use the manual and the pictures inside and the instructions to try and do this, there's a good chance that through no fault of your own, you're going to really struggle, and you're going to be left thinking, this doesn't feel safe, this doesn't feel right, I don't know what I've done wrong, because I'm honestly not sure if the person who wrote this manual actually fully understands A, what is safe and hands-free, or B, how to do it with this carrier. And it's a real crying shame, because as a consequence, I'm never going to recommend somebody with the fear that they're going to read this and then get themselves really in a pickle, because it's so easily correctable, because with an appropriate manual that actually explains how to use this well, this carrier is pretty decent. So let's dive in and I will show you exactly what I mean. So the MomCozy wrap carrier is designed to be like a wrap but pre-tied, and it works on an incredibly similar principle to the koala baby care carrier or the Caboo, the close parent Caboo, both of which I've reviewed before and made full tutorials. So if you do have this carrier and you are struggling to use it, go and watch my tutorial on the koala baby care carrier and then use this carrier exactly the same way. So anyway, to go through it, we have a back panel that has two straps that then thread into rings like so, and this means we can adjust it to make it tighter or larger to fit a range of different bodies. The straps aren't quite as long as on the Caboo or the koala, so I think they would fit slightly bigger plus size bodies, but actually in general we've got quite a lot here and we can go quite a lot tighter, so it's going to fit a good range from petite through to plus size. I'm going to check how much space I've got for my baby, and you'll notice I've pulled this down as low as I can get it. That's going to get me more back support. In terms of the feel of it, the shaping, that you can see it sits nice and flush. It's clearly really adjustable for different body types. The material is like a soft jersey. We've got a sort of flat side and another side. It doesn't feel quite as soft or as luxurious as the Caboo, which is a cotton blend. Feels relatively similar to the koala. I think it's probably quite similar to the koala, maybe not as plush feeling as the Caboo, but then the Caboo is more expensive. This is more similar to the koala. The koala is about £39 on Amazon. This on MomCozy's website is 33. I actually saw it on Amazon for about 25, so it is quite a good budget option, and for the cost it feels fine, totally fine. So I'm going to slip my baby in like so. I'm going to get them comfortable. I'm going to check they're well sat. So the first sort of beef I have with the manual is it shows that for babies under 30 days to put their legs in. I have blogged on this before. You can go see it on my website. Drop me a comment if you're struggling to find it. But I actually don't recommend feet in, because then that's the risk that baby will try and stand up. And also it can be harder to get a really good safe positioning with legs in. And also little ankles aren't as well developed. So we really don't want to put feet in if we don't have to. And the nice thing is you really don't have to, because even a baby who's not opening, we can still have like this, or I've shown this in a video with the Caboo, we can run baby's legs so there's absolutely no material between it and still have their feet out. So there's no need to have the feet in, and that's one of the ways it's misleading in the manual. But the carry itself, you can see you can get a beautiful feet out carry right from the beginning. Then I'm going to spread this up over baby, and you'll note I am spreading the fabric all the way across their back so that it runs, I've done the wrong one, but that's fine, I will go back and correct, so that it runs knee to knee, shoulder to shoulder, knee to knee, shoulder to shoulder. Now, the manual encourages you to keep baby fabric away from baby's face, but they show that by barely spreading the fabric, and in fact barely spreading it on both sides, and this puts baby at risk of leaning back. So I would encourage you to spread the fabric well, but twist it. So we are just going to make a nice twist like so that we've got lots of space around baby's face for them to breathe, and then the fabric can remain supportive and cocooning them so that they aren't at risk of falling back, whilst maintaining their airways. And then last but not least, we have the tie-on panel, which is because we have the cross, we need something that can stop baby from leaning back. Even with it well spread, it's best if we can stop them leaning back, and we can do that by putting this right up in the back of their neck, and even a couple of rolls in the back of the neck, and that really supports their neck and really supports their head. And then we can tie this so it can go around your back, and it's just about long enough for me to come around to the front, and then I can tie it below baby's bum or below their legs like so. If you are a bit broader build than me, you can tie this instead behind your back. If you're more petite, you would just get slightly longer tails and find that a little bit easier. We have got a little pocket here. Not sure what I would put here that would go on my baby's back, but potentially useful. But the main thing is we can pull this up and behind the neck. Now this is another way in which the manual shows quite differently. They show it all the way down here, and these straps not as well spread, and again that puts baby at risk of falling back. The idea behind this panel in every other colour carrier that's like this is to really support baby, to prevent that risk of leaning backwards, and to support their head, because otherwise these straps can't safely support their head without putting pressure on, and this roll behind the back of the neck is what gives them the support to give enough support for a newborn neck. So as you can see, I can get a really safe, really comfortable carry. I'm just using it not the same way as is in the manual. And consequently, if you feel confident doing this, you've watched this video and you feel confident doing this, or you've watched one of my videos for a similar carrier, then this is a great more budget option. As I said, it's really similar to the koala baby carrier and the close parent Caboo carrier. I do think the Caboo feels slightly nicer, but as I said, it's slightly more expensive. It's the one that I choose to sell because I just think it's a slightly more flexible product, fits a greater range of people and feels nicer. But that retails at more like 60. As I said, I've seen this on Amazon as low as 25. So if you are more budget motivated, this is a great option. Just possibly throw the manual in the bin. And hopefully MomCozy are watching, and maybe we'll make some changes and improve this, because that would be a very simple thing for them to change without the more expensive thing of changing the carrier. If this has been helpful at all, please do like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, do pop them in the comments below. Bye.